Hi there, it's Michelle Noonan from Look Who's Mixing, here to show you how to shape your bread rolls and your scrolls, assemble all things dough. So, as you can see, the dough has proved really nicely. It's a lovely day here. So it was just sitting just on the windowsill in the thermosether. So let's get that one out. A little bit of flour. And just work that into usable. There we go. Oh gosh, imagine doing this for 10 minutes. No thank you. Alright, so I'm going to just use the one batch of dough to show you a couple of different things. Firstly, if you are making bread rolls, please weigh your pieces of dough just to make sure that they all cook evenly and they all have that uniformed appearance. So you can do that by just going into the scales, making sure it's tare, and popping your bread roll on top there. Okay, so I usually make my bread rolls around 80 to 100 grams each, and I'll just show you here how I shape them. I might come around actually, and just so you can see a bit better. Whatever sits up when you bake it is what it's going to look like. So if there's a little dent in it, that will be amplified. It will be very noticeable. So I always pop it in like a taco, and then I pull up each edge, and then just like you envision, I guess, making a dumpling if you've never made one before, you just pinch as you turn it. Pinch and turn it until it's all there, and you've got a lovely tight round bread roll. Okay, so that just goes on your tray. Now, the next one that you make needs to be, now I'm not going to make a proper one. Let's just, or maybe I will. Just guessing the amount of dough here. Normally, like I said, always weigh them. All right. So I'm just popping this one together very quickly to pop it on the tray with a little gap. Did you see that before I dropped it? So just about, I don't know, a centimetre or two apart. That way they'll rise up as they bake. When you make bread rolls, so see this one, see how it's all dinty? If I bake that, that's going to be quite a large indent. So you want to make sure that it's like the first one and nice and smooth there. When you're baking your bread rolls, before you bake them, you would proof them again. So we would pop those there, leave them somewhere warm again, just for 20 or 30 minutes depending on the weather, to make sure that they rise again nicely. And it'll give you a lovely fluffy bread roll. Alright, next one. Let's go. This one, now, let's get some more flour, I think, just so I've got it to the side there. This one we need it to be like a snake. Now, as you're rolling it, if you widen your fingers, then it will make that much of an easier task for you to do. All right, now I'm just doing small ones to make like a fancy little dinner roll, essentially. So, a knot roll. Literally tie it in a knot. So across your fingers and through, and then up. You can tuck them in up and under if you like, so that you've got that lovely little, and as that proves, that will fill those spaces. So that's a really cool one to do. So that's if you want to do a little dinner roll version. I'll add some more dough and just make it a little bit bigger. So it depends what kind of roll you want. So this will come round, I think. So you've got your sausage sort of shape around, yeah, and then tie in a knot. And I always like to tuck that little bit in. That's just me though, so it depends how you want it. Some of them that you buy, they're not tucked in and they just stick up a little bit. I just prefer to do that. All right. Let's show you some scrolls now. Now, scrolls is very similar to the brunch bread, so I'll show you the two of them together. A little bit of flour. All right. Let's get this. So, with scrolls, if you want really, really large, wide scrolls, then you need a wide piece. If you want narrower scrolls, so smaller scrolls this way, then you want it longer, if that makes sense. So, I mean, once you do it a couple of times, you'll find what works for you best. Just getting my rolling pin, a bit of flour on it. Now, all of this stuff here that you see me use today, the little dough cutter bowl scraper, of course the thermomat, the rolling pin, all of it is from the mix shop. Don't forget, if you do go for a shop in the mix shop, to choose your consultant before you check out. Now, so you want it kind of rectangle. Yeah, it doesn't have to be perfectly rectangle, but the better, the easier it is, the closer it is. All right, there we go. So what we're going to do first is, if you were making this into brunch bread, you would put all your fillings in the middle and roll it. So we're going to do the rolling of the scroll now anyway, to a point, but it's as simple as, if this was your filling, you just fold it over and then shape it. But we're going to do scrolls first. Let's do scrolls. Let's go this way. There we go. Now my kids are waiting for us for lunch, so they're very excited. Some tomato paste or passata, anything, whatever you prefer to use in your household. Everyone's taste buds are a little bit different. There we go. Pop that there. Now, I use bacon and cheese for mine. That's just a personal preference of my household. My boys love it. Let me just put it on. You can put pineapple, you can put Vegemite and cheese, you can put whatever suits. You can be quite creative with this part. If you've got leftover ham that needs to be used or whatever. I mean, pineapple sometimes I've had leftovers from, and I've popped that on. Okay, all right, I'll just get my cheese. So I'll pop some cheese on. There we go. Be careful not to knock yourself out with the cheese, because it can make them quite oily when they cook, and it'll make the dough a little soggy. Italian herbs, I love everything with Italian herbs. Just a sprinkle there, just to give it a little bit of flavour, or more flavour. Then I spread it out. Now, just pinching it, pull it up, pinch it down. Pull it up, pinch it down. You've got to work a little bit quicker, just so it doesn't unravel. But if you're pinching it down, it should stay there. And then it's as simple as just rolling it, just like that. So simple like that, and just pinching it to keep it together. Now, when I said the brunch roll, when you roll your brunch roll up, you simply just pop the ends together, one inside the other, and pinch them to keep them together, and that would be your brunch bread. Of course, you don't need to roll it like a scroll, but you can if you want to be fancy. But anyway, we're making scrolls, so you can be a little bit, if you've got one big, large, wide bit in the middle, you can kind of spread it out a little bit, manipulate a little bit with your hands. Now, because this mat can't have a knife on it, I find it just easier to transfer it. All right, that's always my taster, that end bit. That's my, usually. All right, getting a serrated knife will help you with this. And just chopping them, whatever, it's about 1 inch wide there, a couple of centimetres. Now, this is just the size I make them. Like I said, if you want them to be really, really big scrolls, just make it a deeper one. Then you pop these, make sure the ends are pinched so they don't come unraveled when they bake. And I always face them toward another one. That way, if they do come unraveled, they don't go out to the side and go a little bit wayward there. So again, just like your bread rolls, just leaving a little gap between them, because I want them to rise up as well. All right, I'll come around to you. to show you. There we go. So just pinching. So they're quite easy to make. They look intimidating though, so give it a go. And of course I've got my rose gold mat here, or tray with the liner. I absolutely love it. It's a game changer. No more mucking around with baking paper. And much better for the environment, of course. But they're all available in the mix shop. Now with these scrolls, I've used the everyday bread recipe for this dough. So I actually will let it have a little bit more of a proof for probably another 15 minutes, and then I'll put it in a cold oven to bake. So there you go. Scrolls and some bread rolls. I really hope that this has been useful for you, and I hope to see you making your own rolls and scrolls in your kitchen soon. See ya.